You're listening to Orange Blaze, a Florida Trail podcast.
He didn't have any problems. It was up to my knees in places, but he was able to get through it better than I was. Only one section of the swamp where I had to take his pack off, and he did about 100 foot of doggy paddle, and then he was back up on enough dry ground.
Okay.
Not dry ground, but up on high enough ground to where he was able to walk. And he was only going, knee high to him, whereas I was going.
That was Rose, Scarecrow, Shirley, and I'm Misty Ridley Little. If you're listening to this, you may be looking at the date and realizing this isn't the beginning of the month when I normally release my episodes. Last week, I got the feeling that maybe hikers could use a little mental uplifting, and I thought I'd release 2 episodes earlier than I usually do. It has definitely been a bit of a whirlwind with COVID-19 the last 2 weeks here in the US, but as I think back to Billy Goat Day and this interview with Scarecrow and the second episode I'm releasing today with Chief Shoeless, the inklings of all of this were beginning that weekend. As I flew out to Florida, I saw more than a handful of people wearing face masks at the airport as the word was just coming out about the virus in Wuhan, China. And I thought a little bit about the possible implications of it all then, but honestly, I kind of figured it would be like SARS and not really infect the whole world at this scale. And of course, I was totally wrong. In February, I continued to kind of stay tuned to the news, but, by the end of the month, I knew March was going to be potentially bad here in the US, and obviously other places in Europe have shown how bad it can be. And here we are, mid to late March, and folks are abandoning their thru hikes, and some aren't even beginning to make the trek out to the AT or the PCD to start. And there are still folks on the Florida Trail who are having to make arrangements to get off the trail and finish later as public lands close and campgrounds close and, resupply points are pinched where they may not be able to resupply. So it's a very strange world we're all living in now. And, I say this from the privilege I sit in as, a white middle-class American female, but there are plenty of people in this world who deal with all sorts of hardships that I can't even fathom, diseases included, every single day. And we're just getting a glimpse of that. So take care, hiker friends. If you do decide to venture out on the trail, even for a day hike, or if you're bold enough to go against the grain for a long distance hike, please be vigilant and stay safe and use your sanitizer liberally. All right, on to my chat with Scarecrow. I came across Scarecrow as I was mingling around the campsites at Billy Goat Day, trying to get to know hikers. Alongside Scarecrow is Oreo, a cute pup of a traveling companion. And listening to Scarecrow's stories, I knew I wanted to sit down and have a chat. As you'll hear, the FT is just one component of a 10-year adventure for Scarecrow. I did some editing to the episode, knocked down some of the noise of the campground behind me. This interview was among some of the first I did before I realized that the voices in the background were too much ambient noise. It's one thing with a car or birds or light chatter in the background, but it was way too many people. So I knocked that down a little bit. All right, now on to the episode. If you could just introduce yourself first, like who you are, so I know where we're starting.
Hello, I am Scarecrow, and this is Oreo.
All right, so Scarecrow and Oreo.
The dog.
So you said you started in May, where? In Seattle?
I started May 1st on a 10-year journey.
Okay, what's your 10-year journey?
Well, we started in Seattle, and we hiked from Seattle to Whitehall, Montana, where we bought a kayak and got onto the Jefferson and the Missouri River.
Oh, okay.
And we'll go back to that. We kind of got froze out in November, and we're down here hiking the Florida Trail for the winter, but we'll go back to that about May. We'll complete the Lewis and Clark Trail. We'll complete the Great American Rail Trail from Washington, D.C. to Seattle. And hopefully by the time all of this is done, we'll have my triple crown.
Oh, okay.
Plus the full East Coast Trail.
Okay.
I would kind of like to get the full West Coast Trail as well, so all the way up to Alaska.
Oh, okay. So, have you done the AT and all of that already? This is where you're starting. You're starting everything.
Well, this is my first year on a 10-year journey. So
okay.
I started in Seattle, and I went straight east, and instead of going north and south like everybody else is, I'm kind of going east and west. And
okay.
I'll go east till I get to the East Coast, and I'm on the East Coast now, but I'll flip back to where I was in Central, and then float down to the Gulf, and then I'll paddle up the East Coast, and then I'll sell my kayak or whatever and hike the trail, and then go buy a new kayak and do the Great Lakes. And
okay. You're just out adventuring.
10 years of keeping myself busy.
Okay.
Moving around and enjoying enjoying the world. I drove truck for 10 years, so I've been all over the country, but I never got to experience it. So this is me getting out to experience the country.
Okay. So did you have any experience kayaking or anything to begin with?
Some experience kayaking. And some experience backpacking. This is my actual first long distance backpacking trip.
Okay.
We would go out for a month at a time. Oreo here is such a trouble dog. He pulled dog cart from Seattle to Montana.
Oh, wow.
So.
Wow. And is he pit bull or Staffordshire? Or
pit bull mix.
Okay. He's very sweet.
He is very sweet.
Nice. And how old is he? 5. Okay. Good.
He just celebrated his 5th birthday. Of course, I just celebrated my birthday too, but we won't talk about holiday.
So you started off in, sounds like a pretty wild place. Did you guys have any harrowing adventures or anything crazy?
He's chased off a black bear and a grizzly bear, and we saw a porcupine that just walked up the trail towards us.
Yeah.
The coolest. A few years ago, when I first got him, we went out for a month, and the last week we got stalked by a bobcat for the entire week.
Oh, wow.
Never came close, but he was out
kept
there
tabs on you.
He was definitely out there stalking us, watching us for all the way back into town.
Wow.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
And scary. At the same time.
Right.
He scared off the black bear this summer and the grizzly this summer. He just barked twice and they all moseyed on their own way.
Okay. And so you came to Florida. Now, are you hitching, or do you have a van or something?
We're just walking.
Walking around. Oh, you just walk. So did you walk from?
We got off the bus at Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
We got off Greyhound at Fort Lauderdale, and we literally walked to the ocean and then walked out to
Big Cypress.
Big Cypress.
Okay.
We walked out the New River Greenway to the Conservation Levee Greenway.
Oh, yeah.
The L30-31 trail down to Dade Corner, and then Tamiami, or however you say it, out to Oasis, and then Oasis North.
Okay.
Well, not quite to here, because we're at Buckhead Ridge currently.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But and then here we are for our first hiker meeting.
Nice.
Hiker gathering.
Okay. So I guess how are you finding the Florida Trail so far?
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. You just.
I hiked rail trails all summer, so this is pretty. I'm pretty used to the dike walks.
Oh yeah.
It's all long, straight, and flat, basically, and that's pretty much what the rail trails are. Long, straight, and flat, and you just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize those rail trails. There's a trail in Texas, the Northeast Texas Trail, that is an old rail trail, and some of it's not quite clear yet. We tried to hike it a few years ago and failed, but
well, the Great American Rail Trail that's supposed to go all the way from Seattle to Washington D.C. is only about 52% complete, and some of the biggest portions that are missing are in Montana. So we'll have to figure it out one day.
Yeah. My question was, how does he handle the water and traveling through that here in Florida?
He didn't have any problems. It was up to my knees in places, but he was able to get through it better than I was. Only one section of the swamp where I had to take his pack off, and he did about 100 foot of doggy paddle, and then he was back up on enough dry ground.
Okay.
Not dry ground, but up on high enough ground to where he was able to walk. And he was only going, knee-high to him, whereas I was going knee-high to me.
Right.
Above my knees at places, especially when I fell in some of those holes.
Right.
But kayaking, he does really great. He just sits there on the boat and goes, okay, it's my turn to do something.
Right.
Kind of like moseying.
Does he like to jump out and swim?
He doesn't like to swim.
Oh, okay.
He's not a super big fan of swimming and playing in the water, but he just, okay, it's water, I'll walk through it until you tell me I don't have to no more.
Oh, we had a pity friend who loved water. I mean, I couldn't keep that guy out of water.
I don't know. He just doesn't
funny.
like it.
Huh?
I mean, he doesn't
Different
hate
dogs.
it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Hate it. He just doesn't like it.
Right. Cool. So, were you in the Navy?
I was once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Okay.
Once upon a time.
All right. So, I mean, that might have prepared you for all your adventuring a little bit.
Well, I've seen the world now. I've seen all the world except the Pacific Rim. Now I want to hike America and then go see the Pacific Rim.
Okay.
I would kind of like to go walk the Great Wall of China and the Outback. And,
oh, wow, yeah.
Go dog sled racing in Alaska.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of crazy stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
Maybe someday this one will get me there.
Right. So, and once you're done with Florida, where are you planning to head back out west?
come May, I'll head back to Montana and continue my kayaking journey on the Missouri, working my way towards the Gulf.
Okay, so you're going to do almost basically like source to sea sort of thing.
Source to sea, but I'll also go, when I actually get to St. Louis, I'll turn left instead of turning right and going to the Gulf. I'll go up towards the Great Lakes.
Okay.
The Ohio River, so I can complete the Lewis and Clark Trail.
Okay.
Because it's the Missouri, the Mississippi, the Ohio, and the Columbian, but I'll have to catch the Columbia River on the way back somewhere, some other time.
Okay.
But I'll take the Columbia River, or the Ohio River, basically all the way to source, and then I'll turn around and retrace all my route, and then get back to St. Louis and go down south, and I'll probably turn right and go up into Texas and do the Texas waters, Texas rivers, and then work my way back to
there's a couple good rivers in Texas. I'm from Texas, so
I lived in Texas. So.
Yeah, we have some problems. I'll admit that one. But yeah, there's some good paddling. I definitely think like the Netches, you would enjoy that. East Texas waters.
I grew up on the Pecos.
Oh yeah, definitely do that. Yeah.
So I'm originally from Carlsbad.
Oh, okay.
New Mexico,
Texas.
But,
yeah.
I lived in.
Yeah.
But I'd like to get up onto the Trinity and then the Red.
Yeah.
And then the Brazos. Definitely love to play on the Brazos.
Yeah.
Rio Grande would be fun, but I think I want to start that in Albuquerque and work my way to the Gulf.
That would be cool.
Just because, it's going to be enough hassle with Border Patrol and Mexican.
Yeah.
Not Mexicans in general, but
but just more immigrants and
right.
That would be a harrowing probably.
I'm not really worried about it, but it'll probably be one of those things where this may or may not be 100% safe.
Right, of course. Well, yeah. So how do you plan all this? Do you just research on the internet, or you just kind of
research on the internet? A lot of it's just places I've been that I kind of want to go back to. A lot of it is not so much as planning as just spur of the moment going and doing.
Okay.
Like the Florida Trail was a spur of the moment decision. I'm down here and I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
I'm planning it as I go, I need this map from Gut Hooks or this map from All Trails, and I need to know where, the nearest sporting goods store is, so I can go get some more mountain houses or some more resupply food. Where's Walmart? Okay, there's a Walmart. I can go shopping now, that kind of stuff. Just walk.
Yeah.
As long as I can keep moving, I can keep doing it.
Right.
When you quit moving, that's when problems start.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about with somebody else. Like, you got to keep moving as you get older. Just keep doing things and stay active. So good. Is there anything else you'd like to wrap up? Say.
This is the one and the only, the tall, skinny, and the ugly Scarecrow saying peace and love.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it for this episode. You can find the show notes for the podcast at orangeblaze.thegardenpathpodcast.com and find me on Instagram at orangeblazepodcast. I'm on Facebook as official Orange Blaze Podcast if you'd like to follow me there. If you hiked the FT in 2020 and would like to share your story on the podcast, drop me an email at orangeblazepodcast@gmail.com. Thanks and happy hiking.